And we are back ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. Hey, you're listening to a Faster PC Live technical support. So give us a call here, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. A Faster PC Live technical support will answer your questions. I do want to also just let you know that we are broadcasting on the radio, but we're also simultaneously streaming this to YouTube and Facebook. So if you're listening on the radio and you want to actually watch the show, you can head over to our website. At our website, there's a red button at the very top that says, right in the middle at the very top, that says Live Technical Support. Click on that. On the left-hand side, it shows you various ways that you can actually schedule live technical support from a Faster PC technician. On the right-hand side, it shows you various ways that you can listen to or watch a Faster PC live technical support, including links to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, and links to our individual videos on YouTube and our shorts on YouTube as well. So you'll be able to head over there. You'll be able to watch that and see that. We do have a great show lined up for you today. We will be showing you how you can watch comedy, how you can actually stream comedy, both on your computer and also not only on your computer, but also on a Roku device. And we will be going over the latest cybersecurity threats, the biggest cybersecurity threats out there. And we'll be going over how you can protect your computers from threats. And you'll want to be a part of this. You'll want to take part in this. So give us a call, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. And remember, when you have computer problems, you need a Faster PC. So there, you know what? People like to actually watch funny things. Sometimes you might want to watch the news. Sometimes you might want to watch a drama, an action thriller. But sometimes you're going to want to watch actually something that's funny, something that can actually just give you some brevity. And there is a lot that you can actually watch. I'm going to switch over to on the live stream. I'll verbally describe this for those that are listening on the radio. But we're going to switch over to the Roku. We're going to actually just go over and look at two different apps that we've shown in the past that do show free content. One is Pluto TV and the other one is Tubi. So these show free content, and you actually have a lot of different types of content as well. Now you can log in with these, or you can just say that you don't want to log in. Of course, you have Andy Griffith. I mean, this is not necessarily comedy, but if we go up here to comedy, so we see there's various sitcoms. There's also Cheers and Frasier. That whole channel is just Cheers and Frasier, 24 hours a day. It's pretty cool. Sitcoms, various different sitcoms. You have more sitcoms. You have hit sitcoms. You have black throwbacks. You have BET, Tyler Perry comedy, an entire channel of that. You also have Funny AF. You have Pluto Sketch AF, Comedy Central. So that would be a lot of stand-up comedy. Tosh.0, Wild In Out. You have Mystery Science Theater. You have Rift Track, and you have Fail Army. So we're going to go back out to the go back out to the home screen here, and from the home screen we're going to go over to Tubi. So Tubi is going to have some different content, but you're going to have a lot of the same types of again, this is all free. You can actually do this you can watch these on your computer, you can watch them on your smartphone, but you can also watch them on your television, especially if you have a Roku TV, an Amazon Fire Stick, or something like that. So they do have categories here. And Apple TV. So you have adult comedy. There's various types of comedy out there, and some of them maybe you know, maybe might not be appropriate for kids. But and here you just have comedy. So there's various shows and movies, and some of them going back from the old days, some of them newer, and you can actually partake in this. Now, one of the things that we're gonna actually show you, I'll actually click over. In fact, let me just do this on my computer. I'll click over to a full screen. You can do this not only on your computer, but you can do this on the Roku as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to switch over to my personal profile from a faster PC, and let's see here. We'll go to switch accounts. If you are logged in with an account in YouTube, you will see content that's related to some of the things that you've watched in the past, and the types of things that you want to watch. And of course, we see a faster PC is showing up there. But I actually have some playlists, and one of the playlists that I have is I have a lot of worship playlists, but there's also Christian comedy playlists. There's comedians on YouTube, and you can watch their full shows. Let me see. You know what? That's pretty loud there.
According to how difficult the job is.
So sorry about that. I didn't realize how loud that was going to come over on the live stream. But anyway, this is one of them that is available. There's other ones that are available. I think I just created this playlist just recently. This is one that aired on Focus on the Family, and you can watch the comedy skit here on YouTube. So, but if we search for comedy, you're going to see, and there's a lot of different types of comedy that's out there. And again, if you've watched it in the past, some of it's going to be based on some of the things that you've watched in the past, and so you'll see a little bit of change there. We could actually do some individual searching. So this guy, Michael V, is really funny, and there's a lot of different shows that are out here, and so yeah, so you'll actually be able to watch some of these stand-up comedy. Now there's some really neat comedy. If we just go back out to the home page, there are little shorts, and some of these are serious. Some of them are dealing with comedy as well. And let me see if I can see some. I might even, I'm not logged in on the Roku device. So if I was logged in on the Roku device, one thing also, what you watch on your computer is YouTube counts that as different than what you'll see on your TV as well. But there are some really interesting comedy out there. So, and some of them dealing with kids, some of them dealing with animals. So there's voiceovers that are done. There's also ones that are done for this one, this Rockstar, and it's actually spelled RXCK.
Mama, can you give me a ride to the dog park?
So they basically, it's RXCKSTXR, and this is just hilarious. I'll actually see if I can bring the audio down a little bit so it doesn't overpower my voice, but he's got some really funny things, and he has the dog talking, and the owner of the dog talking back to the dog, and and sometimes the dog, a dog talking to another dog, or a cat talking to a cat, or something like that. So there are some really funny ones. There are also some new ones that are out there with AI babies. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this, but there's AI babies, and here's baby Trump, and here's the best of baby Trump. So there's baby Netanyahu. There's and this is all AI. So it's using some of the words that he would say, and actually just using artificial intelligence to have this little baby that kind of looks like and sounds a little bit like Trump. So they have Netanyahu ones. They have ones from Congress where they'll have a congressman and someone that was interviewed, or someone that was in front of a committee. Here's judge clips, funniest baby judge clips. These things can be really hilarious. There's also ones with families that are out there, and some of the shorts are very short. They're anywhere from they could be just a few seconds, all the way up to 3 minutes. But funny, hilarious, and totally free. You don't have to pay to be entertained anymore.
Listening to a Faster PC radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour right here on this station, and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090. 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes, or you just go to our website, fasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. Hackers are constantly looking for ways to break into your computer and network to access your data and hold it hostage. Think this can't happen to you? Think again. Hackers regularly target small businesses. A Faster PC has produced a cybersecurity crisis report that goes over urgent and critical protections every small business must have in place now to protect their bank accounts, client data, confidential information, and reputation from the tsunami of cybercrime. To access this report, give us a call at 772-878-5978 or download the report today at
www.fastpc.com.
That's www.fasterpc.com. Cybersecurity problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC is located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie, next to Dollar General.
To access this report, give us a call at 772-878-5978 or download the report today at thefasterpc.com.
You need a Faster PC.
At 772-878-5978.
This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio, this is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC Radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page. Or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by, ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. And hey, again, the topic doesn't have to be, your question doesn't have to be on anything that we're talking about. It could be on any topic. We'll actually, even if we have to roll, move a segment that we've been planning on talking to next week, or maybe even just go over that, extend the show out. We do that sometimes. We actually have a bonus segment on the live stream that lasts longer than the radio show. So sometimes after we're on the radio, we're still streaming, actually, so we can get you those the latest threats and go over how you can protect yourself and your computer. But I want you to imagine this. You wake up and you find your data gone. Ransomware has locked every file. You go to open a file and you receive a message that the file has been encrypted and that there's a hacker or a hacker group that's demanding millions of dollars to get the money back and get your data back. And really, when I say millions of dollars, it could be a different amount. We'll go over how they actually determine that here in just a minute. Or worse, your backup fails when you need it most. This isn't just a nightmare scenario. It's happening to businesses. It's even happening to individuals every single day. So, the truth is, data security is important, and cybersecurity isn't just about firewalls and antivirus. It's about prioritizing backup and disaster recovery. And if you don't do this, you're risking everything. So we're going to break down, first of all, what your backup should protect against, and also we'll protect against, we'll go over various types and ways of backing up your data, and then we'll look at basically how you can actually prevent this. So first of all, what do you need to protect against? When we're looking at data backup, what we're looking at is you want to have a backup solution that protects against several things. We have people that come in here all the time and their computer is not working properly, or they call us up, or they have us come out to their business or their home or their office, whatever the case is, and they say, this computer's not working right. It has all of our data. Our data is very important. And the next question is, well, do you have a backup? And quite often the people will say, well, I was just about to make a backup. And just about, the thing is, when you need a backup, just about isn't good enough. Or I was about to do it doesn't cut it. You need to have your backup, and you need to know that you have a backup. And sometimes people also will say, well, I've been making a backup, and then we find out that they haven't. So we'll talk about the things that your computer, your backup solution needs to protect against. So first of all, your backup solution needs to protect against data or hard drive failure, hardware failure. So you could have a hard drive that fails. Your computer could fail. In fact, some computers, especially some computers that sometimes they're low-end computers, sometimes they're not just low-end computers, they may be high-end computers, but very portable systems like a Microsoft Surface or some of the laptops out there. We've seen some laptops that actually where the screen flips and it turns into a tablet, and so it's a tablet and it's a laptop. And some of these have the drive actually soldered to the motherboard. So if the motherboard dies, the drive could actually be good, but you can't get the data because the motherboard is dead. And the motherboard is the main board. I know there's a lot of terminology in computers that can be a little bit difficult to understand. So I'll try, as we are going through this, I'll try to explain it. And if you ever are confused, just leave your comments in the live videos and we'll go over that, or maybe even call us up and say, hey, I didn't quite understand that. Can you explain that to me? Or, we can do a follow-up video, or maybe even if we have time, go over it on this show right now. But your motherboard is the main board on the computer. The processor, which does all the mathematical calculations, everything that happens on a computer is done with mathematical calculations. That's the processor. There's RAM that plugs into that. The drive plugs into that. Sometimes the drive is actually soldered to that. And when it's soldered to that, if that motherboard's not working, if the processor's not working, if the RAM's not working, you can't get your data without sending that off to a data recovery facility, and it's going to cost a pretty penny to get your data back. So you want to have a backup that protects against hardware failure. Hard drives do fail. Quite often when hard drives fail, we can still get the data. So, if you have a hard drive out there that is failing, bring it to a faster PC or have us come out and look at it. We may be able to get that data. And but you don't want to leave it to chance. You want to actually have a backup. You want to know that you have a backup. How about theft? What if your computer is stolen? What if you have a backup and your backup is right next to your computer or connected to your computer and your computer is stolen? Well, most likely the backup will be stolen also. So your backup solution needs to protect against theft. It also needs to protect against fire. We have had customers, and in the last segment or the last example, I talked about theft. We've had customers that have had their computer and their backup stolen because they were both in the same location when a thief broke in and stole them. Secondly, you're looking at, or third thing you want to protect against is fire. So you have your computer and your backup in the same location and you have a fire. Now, fires are rare, but they do happen. You probably have seen it. You probably have had neighbors that have had their houses burned down. We have a neighboring business that had their building burned down not too long ago. These types of things happen. We've had business customers that have had their computers and backup destroyed because of fire. We even years ago, if those of you that have lived in Port St. Lucie for a while, those of you that are in Port St. Lucie and have lived in Port St. Lucie for a while may recall the fires in southwest Port St. Lucie. I mean, we're talking probably 5 to 10 miles away from our business. We actually had ashes landing in our parking lot from these fires. We had customers that their computers were literally just a blob of metal on the floor the concrete floor. Everything else was burnt, and you had a blob of metal that part of that used to be their computer case, part of it used to be their computer hard drive. You want to have a backup system that protects against fire. You also want to have a backup system that protects against human error. Have you ever made a mistake with a file? I've made mistakes with files. I'm very cautious, very careful, but you know what? I make mistakes with files, and you want to be able to roll back to yesterday or the day before, or preferably 30 minutes ago before you made that error, or a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. So you want to protect against human error, and obviously you need to detect that there's that human error, that that there was an error in the file, and detect about that, detect quickly enough so that you can still go back and get that data. You also want to protect against ransomware. And so what ransomware is, let's say you have an employee that's out there, or maybe even you are tricked into clicking a link that launches malicious code, or opening an attachment that launches malicious code, or lets a bad guy in. And once the bad guy is in, the bad guy establishes a foothold and works to actually see what the bad guy can do. If you have a business, a medical practice, a law office, whatever type of office you might have, even if you have a home office, but specifically if you have a business, the average time that a hacker is inside a business network before they're discovered is 6 months. So imagine that, being there 6 months. What kind of damage can be done within 6 months? Well, most likely they have your data, they have it off-site, they can, as part of their ransom, they will threaten to release that data publicly. Think about the data that you may have. Think about your employees' social security numbers, their date of birth, maybe their driver's license number, your customers. Some businesses actually have their customers' date of birth, their driver's license number, maybe their medical ID, maybe their social security number. There's a lot of data that you may have. We have clients that are involved in counseling. Imagine counseling sessions and the transcripts of those counseling sessions being leaked on the internet. Those are things you don't want to have happen. But also they encrypt your data so that you can't access your data. And to access your data, you either need a backup or you need to pay them the money. Paying them the money is not a good option, because then you're encouraging them and to do this to more people. You're actually enabling them and funding them to actually do this to more people, to more businesses. And so you want to have a backup that protects against hardware failure, theft, fire, sabotage. Another thing we didn't mention, sabotage. Sometimes people purposely damage data. And this happens quite often if someone's mad at someone. We have seen situations where someone was terminated from a business. Typically, by the way, if things are done properly and the company knows that they're going to terminate the person ahead of time, that person's credentials, login credentials, will be terminated prior to their knowing. But there are times where maybe it's a spur of the moment type of thing, and they are fired right then, right there. And we've seen situations where the data on the server was damaged and the data on the backup was damaged purposely by someone who was looking to sabotage it. So you want to actually protect yourself against this type of threat. So you want to have a backup solution that does this. Now, you could just copy your data. Copying your data has some problems. One, you need to have a copy of it off-site. in case you have fire, in case you have theft, in case you don't want to definitely have it connected to your computer, because if you have it connected to your computer and you're hit with ransomware, it's going to encrypt the backup also in most cases. So you need to have a copy off-site, and you need to be rotating those. This type of backup is contingent on you doing something. And one of the things that we have found over the years is that when people are responsible for doing something to back up their data, even if they have the best of intentions, even if they're going through all the motions, they believe they're doing everything correctly, quite often they're missing steps. And quite often what's happening is the data is going to be compromised and the backup is not going to be sufficient. We've been at locations trying to recover data, and the employee says, yeah, I just made a backup last Friday, and we find out, well, actually the last backup was several months ago, or maybe even when we showed them how to make a backup. So, you know, a lot of times if it's up to you, even if you are diligent, there's a good chance that you're not going to do what you need to do. You also can have cloud backup, and there's various types of cloud backup. Microsoft has OneDrive, Google has Google Drive, so you can set up where your files are in these applications and they can be backed up. There is 30 days of version history in OneDrive by default. You can change the settings and allow that to go longer. You also we actually have managed backup. With our managed backup, what happens is we're able actually to back up, and we're able to actually back that up to the cloud, and we can go back to last year. We'll talk a little bit more about this when we come back and just finish up on this, and then we'll go over the cybersecurity rundown and, of course, answer your questions as well.
You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up. 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC, or A Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Microsoft has announced that they are ending support for Windows 10 October 14, 2025. If you continue to use Windows 10 after that point, your computer will be susceptible to security vulnerabilities. A Faster PC can upgrade most computers to Windows 11, even if Microsoft has told you that your computer isn't compatible. And we can even do so remotely without you needing to bring your computer in. Don't be a sitting duck for hackers. Let a Faster PC upgrade your computer. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
When you need to protect your computer from hackers,
You need a faster PC.
A Faster PC is located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie, next to Dollar General.
and on the web at
www.fastpc.com.
That's www.afasterpc.com. Computer problems?
Don't you know by now you need a faster PC?
For more information, call 772-878-5978. Welcome back to A Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590, or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to A Faster PC Radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for A Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772-878-5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do, and we are back ready to answer your computer, technical, streaming, and cybersecurity questions. So we were just going over backup. So one of the things we were talking about is actually version history with OneDrive, and also you do have this with Google Drive as well. So what I could actually demonstrate this. So if we actually had a file, I'll switch over to a full screen, and let me find a file real quick that I can probably do this with, because there's various versions. So yeah, let me I'll actually go over this. Let me click over and show you. Let me get the full screen going here. So those that are watching this, I'll verbally describe this for those that are listening on the radio, but we'll want to actually show you those that are watching the live stream. So with Microsoft OneDrive, let's say here's actually the Nero video file that I used to create our church show that'll be on tomorrow. Now, if I made a mistake on this file, I can actually right-click on the file, and I can go to OneDrive. That brings up a pop-up menu. I go to OneDrive, and then I go down to version history, and I can left-click. And I see various versions of the file. And so I can actually roll back to a previous version. Now, what this would do, if I made a mistake, I could actually correct that. If someone sabotaged my system and actually damaged that file, I could actually roll back to a previous version of it. If the file was actually deleted, there is a way that I could actually go and recover the file there as well. If the file was encrypted by ransomware, well, I could roll back to a version prior to the encryption. What we have seen, by the way, if you do have a system that is infected with ransomware, we've seen that actually the files a week ago were ransomed as well. So, by the way, we'll talk in a future video on how you can actually protect against ransomware. There are things that you can do to actually protect your computers and your computer systems against ransomware. But you do want to have a system that protects this. Now, OneDrive and Google Drive are not foolproof. If someone gets access to your Microsoft account or your Google account, they could, if a hacker gets access to your Microsoft account or your Google account, they can actually delete all of your files. So we actually do have backup solutions for your OneDrive data and your Google data. So if you're out there, you're using Microsoft 365 or you're using Google Business, we actually can back up that data. Not only the emails, but also any drive data that you may have out there. So you want to have this. We also have a cloud backup system that will make system level backups of your entire system. So we could actually restore if let's say, worst case scenario, this is kind of in our society, this is a little bit absurd, but let's say a missile hit your place, or it was totally blown up and your computer's gone. Maybe you do have a fire that melts it all down. Well, we could get you another computer. We could actually restore that data and have you back up just like you were before with no data loss. Really, the only data loss you would have is whatever wasn't backed up. So the backup actually, we're able to make up backups as often as every 15 minutes. And, whatever's changed in the last 15 minutes or the last 2 hours or 3 hours, however long you want to have, that backup, that backup is there. And if you were to have a situation where you had ransomware and you needed to go back a week or two, you could do that. And you would be able to actually go back. What if you needed to go back a year? Or 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 years? Well, as long as you've had the service for that long, you would still be able to go back and you would be able to restore a version of that file or the files that existed that long ago. Sometimes you need this for legal purposes. The best thing about this is that, first of all, it's not on your computer. It's not in your location. It's in the cloud. It is protected with a secure encryption key, and it's not contingent on you doing anything. The backup is there, it's made, and you have this backup, and you're able to actually go to sleep knowing that if you come in the next day and your data is encrypted, that you have your data backed up. You might lose a week, you might lose more than a week because the encryption's been there for that long, but you're not going to lose all of your data. You're going to be able to roll back to a point where the data wasn't encrypted. And, if your drive dies, if you have fire, if you have theft, if you have sabotage, if you make a mistake or someone else makes a mistake with a file, again, you have ransomware, you know that your data is safe. So if you're interested in implementing this secure system, give us a call, 772-878-5978, 772-878-5978, or go to our website, afasterpc.com, and schedule a free discovery call, and we can actually discuss how a faster PC can help you implement a secure backup system, one that doesn't require you to do anything, one that backs up your data and really backs it up in a way that it is safe. So we're going to switch over right now and go over the cyber threat rundown. So we're going to go over the 6 critical cybersecurity threats that are being exploited right now. You need to know about these. You need to patch immediately, and you need to address these. Some of these are going to affect everyone that is listening to us. There's 160 systems that were compromised in just 48 hours. A single flaw that lets hackers take over your network with 0 credentials. And a silent backdoor hiding in your firewall right now. These aren't hypothetical threats, they're happening today. You want to stay with me, because what we're going to do at the end of this video, you're going to know about these threats, and you're also going to know what to do, how to take proactive measures to protect yourself. Fortinet Firewall's web application firewall does have a major threat that is being actively exploited by attackers. The flaw affects multiple Fortinet versions and allows unauthenticated remote attackers to execute arbitrary code via a SQL injection in the HTTP authorization header. So security researchers have observed at least 160 compromised Fortinet 40 web instances with malicious web shells deployed between July 14th and 15th. So this is just happened. You want to make sure that you're actually, Fortinet has released security patches and we urge you to install these patches immediately. If you're using Cisco, well, there's a 10 of 10 vulnerability in the ISE product. Cisco has disclosed a critical maximum severity flaw in its identity services engine, ISE, and ISE passive identity connector, allowing unauthenticated remote attackers to execute arbitrary code with root privileges. Root privileges is the lowest level, and it actually gives the hacker and attacker access to everything. And this is done by sending a specially crafted API request. This vulnerability affects several versions, and right now there's no reports of active exploitation. I can guarantee you it will happen soon. So if you're using Cisco, you need to make sure that you're updating your devices immediately. Windows Server 2025 has a golden DMSA attack. There's a critical flaw in Windows Server 2025's delegated managed service accounts, or DMSAs, dubbed golden DMSA, that has been uncovered. The vulnerability allows attackers to access to a compromised key distribution service, root key, typically requiring domain admin privileges to generate passwords for any DMSA or GMSA account within an Active Directory for us. Because the password generation used predictable timestamps based elements with limited entropy, attackers can brute force valid passwords quickly. This enables stealth lateral movement, and which means hackers moving from computer to computer, from system to system, and you need to actually get out there, make sure that you're installing the patches to protect yourself. We've talked in the last few weeks about, in fact, in the last 2 months, there have been a few different Google Chrome zero-day threats. There's another one out there that you need to be aware of. There's a new Google Chrome zero-day exploit that's in the wild. That means that hackers are currently actively exploiting this. If you're using Google Chrome, you need to make sure that you're updating it. Google has patched a high-severity sandbox escape zero-day vulnerability in Chrome that has been actively exploited in the wild by attackers. The flaw, with a CVSS score of 8.8, with the highest being 10, resides in the angle and GPU components and can be triggered via a specially crafted HTML page to execute arbitrary code outside the browser's sandbox. In other words, hacker creates a malicious page, prompts you to go there, you go there, you're tricked into going there, and all of a sudden your Google Chrome is actually compromised. Get out there, install the updates immediately if you have and you're using Google Chrome. There's a SonicWall SMA appliance targeted in malware attacks. Researchers have identified a new malware campaign by the UNC 6148 group targeting SonicWall Secure Mobile Access, or SMA 100 series appliances, even those fully patched. The attackers exploit known and possibly unknown vulnerabilities, stole administrative credentials, and gained access gains shell access via SSL VPN. Despite no zero-day breach being confirmed, it's going to happen. You need to make sure that you're protecting yourself. So you also have a big eSIM vulnerability, putting IoT or Internet of Things devices at risk. eSIMs are used in over 2 billion devices, containing a critical vulnerability in the embedded universal integrated circuit card, EUICC software powering Kaizen chips. Known Java card flaws allow attackers to temporary physical access to extracted keys. And what can happen is basically your cell phone can actually be taken over. You want to protect against these. If you're out there and you're saying, hey, this is kind of confusing, I need help in protecting against this, you need a faster PC. Give us a call, 772-878-5978. Also on the web at fasterpc.com. While you're there, you can actually schedule a discovery call, and we can help protect you from these threats.
We're coming to the end of today's show, but if you've missed any part of the show, want to listen to or watch it again, or want to share it with your friends, head over to our website, afasterpc.com, and look at the top of the page. Right in the middle, there's a red button that says Live Technical Support. Click on that button. On the left-hand side, you'll see various ways that you can actually request live technical support from a Faster PC's technicians. On the right-hand side, you'll see how you can listen to and watch a Faster PC live technical support, including on the radio, on the TuneIn app, on your Alexa or Google speakers, and on our podcast, as well as links to both our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, where you'll not only be able to hear the show, but also see the show. We also have links to our YouTube channel's video page, where you can watch individual segments, and then also our shorts page, where you can watch little snippets of a Faster PC live technical support. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5, and next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning here on WPSL at 10 a.m. You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church YouTube channel, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. If you have any computer questions for next week's show, you can type those into the comment section of our live videos over on YouTube and Facebook. Again, you can get the links to both of those by clicking on the live technical support button at our website, the top middle, and you can request live technical support on that page as well. Computer problems?
Don't you know by now you need a faster PC?
I want to encourage you to pray for the families in Texas who have suffered loss, especially those who have lost loved ones. When people, even cities, states, and nations, go through difficult times and turn to God in prayer, God hears and answers those prayers. The people in Texas right now need your prayers, comfort, and support to make it through these difficult times. Please pray for them, and if you can help in other ways, do so.
WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Ramming into a crowd of people waiting to enter a nightclub along a busy boulevard early this morning.